in the previous section, you've learned about abstract classes as well as abstract methods. Now, within interfaces, you can only contain one of the three in here. So with abstract methods, let's just basically say public, abstract, and then void. And here I'm going to say foo for now. We'll change this in a second. And here you can have any parameters, but let's just basically do this. Now, this is what's permissible, abstract methods. Here I can also have, so if I duplicate this, just like that, I can say bar as well. Have a look, public, abstract, void, and you've learned about this before. There's no method body in here. So there we go. And because we are within interfaces, we actually don't have to say public abstract because by default, they are abstract. And you can see IntelliJ says modifier abstract is redundant for interface methods. So let's just get rid of this because it's the same thing. Now let's open up car, and within car, before with abstract methods, you saw that we said extends and then the class name. So here, if I say extends and then vehicle, this does not work. With interfaces, instead of extends, we have to say implements. So we implement the interface. Now here we have an error. So remember before with abstract methods, so if you extend, you have to override the methods, the abstract methods. So here is the exact same thing. So what we could do is we could use IntelliJ, click on the bulb, implement methods, or in here, I think you can right click and then show context actions, implement methods. There we go. Or if you want, I think there's another way. I think you can just, so in here, if I basically right click and then I can say generate, there we go, and then override methods. And you can see that we can override these two methods. So you've got a couple of ways of doing it. So usually the way I do it is I just put my mouse in there, use the keyboard shortcut. You can see down below, implement methods. And here I need to implement all of these methods. So I'm going to implement foo and bar. And there we go. So you know what override means. And this symbol here says that this is an implementation. This is one of possible many implementations from vehicle. Now here we can actually have our own logic. And to be honest, it's as simple as this. Now, obviously here, so let's just get rid of this. So I said that both bicycle, car, and electric scooter. So these three methods, they are the same. Move, apply brakes, so on and so forth. So what we're going to do is, let's just go to vehicle in here, get rid of foo and bar, paste these three methods. So public void move, so on and so forth. Now here, we're not allowed to have any implementation. So this will go like this. There we go. And there we go. And now we can remove the word public because they're public by default. And there we go. So this is it. Now you can see that this already is telling me that there is an implementation. So if I open up car, you can see that these methods are the same because the names are the same. So if I say moves, for example, here, now this breaks the contract because we have to implement all of those methods. So here, what I'm going to do is just say add override to be, explicit, the same for apply brakes and get current speed. And the implementation here is basically what we had before. So you can see how this works. Now let's do the same for bicycle. So here, if you want, so have a look, if this was empty, so let's just basically get rid of these three, just like that, right? So this is the bicycle class with just the constructor. Now here, let's just say implements, so implements vehicle, then we have to override, so show context actions, implement methods, we have to override all three. You can see that the implementation here is basically empty. We have to implement our own logic. So for move, I said this dot and then current speed plus equal amount. There we go. For apply brakes, this was minus equal. And for get current speed, this was current speed. And to be honest, you can see is very simple. Now let's do the same for electric scooter. So here, because the method names are the same already as the interface, implements vehicle, and we just have to add the at override in there. There we go. And in here as well, and job done. So this is pretty much how we use interfaces. So we have the interface in here called vehicle. We have abstract methods, and then we have implementations. So here, if I click on this eye icon on the interface vehicle, you can see that we have 3 implementations. So choose implementation of vehicle, bicycle, car, and electric scooter. So we can actually navigate to any of these. So if I go to bicycle, you can see that it takes straight into it. If I go back, click again, I can go to any of those, but also on the individual methods themselves. So you can go straight into the implementation themselves. And this is it. So you can see that it's quite easy. It's just public interface. You give it a name, abstract methods, and then you have the classes that wish to implement the interface by just saying, so if I go to bicycle, implements instead of extends. Right, so next, let's actually change the person class to use the interface instead of these classes right here.